Hello, good evening, everyone. Welcome to this Socratic dialogue. Today's topic for the Socratic dialogue will be role of technology in education. So, before we begin, I'd like to like both the teams to introduce themselves.
Hello everyone, this is Shubhodeep, the coach of Team Innovations.
Hi everyone, this is Maryada from Team Innovations.
Hello everyone, this is Nihal from Team Innovations.
Hi everyone, I'm Daita. I'm a part of Team Innovations.
Hello everyone, I'm Dalia and I'm from Team Edu Visionaries.
Hello everyone, this is Disha. I'm from Team Visionaries.
Hello everyone, myself Shubham. I am from Team Edu Visionaries.
Hi everyone, this is Nandini and I'm the coach of Team Visionaries.
Hi everyone, my name is Rushabh Patel and I am co-moderator for today's session.
Hello, everyone. This is Ananya, moderator for this session. So, we have both the teams here to discuss their perspective on the topic. So, which team would like to go in first?
Yes, we would like to go in first.
Yeah. Before you go in, could you please share the reason behind your team's name and also summarize your pitch in 1 to 2 sentences?
Sure. So we named our Team Edu Visionaries because we believe in reimagining education with the vision of making technology not just a tool but a way to think, create, and inspire. To summarize a bit, our presentation explores how Apple transformed technology into more than machines. Through this, we show how tech education should help students think different and use analogies and gain the freedom to create and innovate. So, moving forward, so let's just start with a simple question like, is technology just a tool or it's an enabler? So Apple really flipped the idea. iPhone wasn't launched as a better phone, it became a lifestyle, right? So in education too, if we only teach this to use technology, we miss the point. So the real value is teaching them how to think differently with it. Over to Disha.
Yeah. Yeah, so too often coding is talked as just memorizing rules and typing syntax that make it feel too mechanical. So, like, look at Apple, where the Apple Store, GarageBand, and iTunes, like, these came alive when engineers and creative thinkers worked together. So, the lesson for us from that, where what we can learn that coding isn't just about rules; it's a way to bring ideas into reality and change how people live. Moving to next slide. So most people explain technology with technical details that nobody remembers. So like Apple did it totally differently. Like here at the iPod launch, Steve Jobs didn't just say that 5 GB MP3 players. Like he said like 1,000 songs in your pocket. So that thing stuck in a people's mind. Like in teaching tech, people should do the same. Like we should use that same kind of analogies and think like a simple in a simple story so that learners can able to connect and remember the things and get the inspired from that. Yeah, over to Shubham.
Yeah, so if we were to look at technology as a superpower, like Apple product gives us some hidden superpowers. For example, the iPhone camera, right? Here's an AI we don't even notice, right? And their laptops had chips like they work like supercomputer. In schools, we can do the same. Help students do things they didn't think were possible, like exploring biology in AR or using AI for history projects. Moving on. So Steve Jobs once said that the computer is like a bicycle for the mind, right? It helps our ideas move faster. Apple made tools like GarageBand, Playground, so anyone can create music or apps. In schools, technology should give students to make things and explore, not just memorize instructions. Moving on. So to sum up, like Apple sees technology as an enabler, a way to create or a way to get a hidden superpower and a path to freedom. That's how schools should teach tech too, not just as tools, but as a way for students to think differently and create freedom and create something freely. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the pitch. Over to the team Innovations, Visionaries for the questions.
I would like to question first. So why only Apple? Why not Samsung and Huawei like companies?
So we took this case study because Apple is also like a tech company, and there are multiple companies which uses like technology in a creative manner. But we just took one case study to explain our pitch. So just as an example.
So, what do you think Apple is doing differently, which already the Androids or other smartphones are not doing? Is there any different feature?
Yes, there were some features that Android were not able to get, and Apple was the one to get it first. Like, let's just say, when was there were just some testing messages and calling, and these were things were available. But Apple was the first one to create the email to send emails and instant messages. These things Apple created, and after 1 year in 2008, the Google created those things.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you guys, but we are going on tangents. The session is meant to be go in parallel, like technology and education system should go parallel. So we should not just discuss technology here. That's the thing. Carry on.
I hope everybody here has renamed themselves. Yeah. Did the pitch already finish?
Yes.
Okay. Is the question box questioning now or?
Yes.
Yeah.
Any more questions, guys?
Yes. So, how do you think like schools or education system can inculcate the new ways of teaching education this apart from the
What is the question?
tradition?
Back to answer box. Answer box, could you take this, please?
So
Okay.
yes, just as Apple has Swift Playgrounds, it's an app which teaches coding in a fun way. Like it's just like a game. So similarly, like education system can inculcate coding or or other education things like of technology like AI and everything in a fun way, so that students grab the
Got
thing,
you.
grab
Got
the
you. Back
flow.
to question box. And I hope all of you have got your chat GPT open with dictate. You could try that so you have some options in the background. Yeah. Yeah. So got the answer, Apple app. So back to question box.
Aside from Apple, do you have any other example how technology
Got you. Back to
brings
answer
freedom
box.
to create?
Back to answer box. Any other examples?
Yes, like smart labs or coding apps. This can be used in schools to like imbibe technology within education system.
By the way, one MIT's Scratch is like a evergreen thing which has been there, I think, for 10 years or more. Yeah, back to question box.
Yeah, so I have a question that what significant changes should we do in the education system so that we could implement these all techniques of new age learning instantly in the education system without disrupting it too much?
Got you. Back to answer box.
I think amount of funds should be set to education system where technology should be made accessible to everyone. Smart classrooms are already
This
being
doesn't
done in.
answer the question. His question is what changes do we bring to adapt to new technology?
I think using analogies and case studies can help in this
Got you.
case.
Back to question box.
So can you tell me any significant changes which have been in the market or are being used by some of the others education platforms to
So
teach all these?
Shubhadeep, it will be good if we can build on the answer, right? Rather than see, Socratic dialogue is not about asking random questions and giving random answers, right? So when she gives an answer, you can build on an answer with a question. You asked, how can you improve? She said with case studies and analogies. Now you can counter her answer, right? Anybody from question box who wants to build on her answer with a question? Okay,
Yeah,
my question is,
so I
go ahead,
want
go ahead.
Yes, so I have a question that, okay, so you told us that we can allocate funds or we can use smart labs or something. But could you tell me that which of these, okay, rather than funds, because education platforms or
Okay,
education
Shubhadeep,
system
sorry, I'll
doesn't
interrupt.
allocate too
Sorry.
much of.
Shubhadeep, I'll interrupt you. So
No
Dalia,
issues.
his first question was how to adapt to new technologies. Your answer is case studies and
Analogies.
analogies.
Analogy.
So how are case studies and analogies helping in adapting to latest technologies like deep learning, AI and all? How is that connected? Anybody in the answer box can take it.
We get live examples of the state of mind of the people. In real experiences, help us build on the technology to make it much more.
Our real experiences connected to case studies and analogies.
Real experiences can be based on, case studies can be based on real experiences.
How is
right?
that helping with latest technologies?
We are adapting with the current pool of mind we are targeting our technology for. For example, there's a tool known as transcription recently introduced in Metas on Instagram. So if someone sends a voice note, it could be transcribed into
So
text.
are you hitting the core just by offering case studies of what's around? What according to you is the major change which has to happen so that people can learn latest technologies more easily?
Make it widely accessible to everyone and every
Make
people.
what widely accessible?
For disabled people, for people in remote
Make
parts.
what widely accessible?
The tools for tech which we can help for
So
accessible
if you
tech.
just if you make the tools accessible, that's good enough? Or
No, the knowledge is also required to be implemented so to know how to use those tools correctly.
but say if a kid is in school, when you were in school, you were taught programming. Now there's AI. When you were in school, they didn't know that AI is going to be this big. So how do you decide what to teach at school then? You don't know what's the technology after next 10 years.
But whatever coding or programming was taught, that can act as a baseline because it's easier
But
to
that's
adapt.
not helping, right? That's not helping for the new age AI technologies that's coming in.
So we can adapt as fast as we can. For
How?
example, now AI is there, so introducing AI in education system
But
syllabus.
in next 10 years, AI will be gone. There'll be augmented intelligence which will come. Artificial intelligence will be gone in 10 years. When I was in school, we were taught HTML. That was their idea of teaching latest technologies. HTML was latest technology when I was in school.
But don't you think that some knowledge about HTML helped you in understanding
Sure.
programming?
I'm not saying what they taught was wrong. I'm saying, but that didn't prepare us for what came out in 2014 when I got out of college, right? The technology then was different. Luckily for me, in 2009, I was taught Python in college, which even engineers were not learning. Being a science student, I learned Python in 2009. But in school, what I learned was not exactly latest technology. So what do you do? Because the problem I'm trying to say is that technologies will change. So what do you do at school then?
Make sure the core is correct so they can adapt to new technologies.
Exactly. Now, what is that core? What is that core?
Using technologies to learn new technologies.
Fantastic. What do you do with that? How do you do that?
Using previous technologies, like new technologies that are coming, use them, adapt to them, and learn new technologies with that thing, with that technology.
You don't teach them technology. What do you teach?
The mindset.
You give
Proper
them
usage.
opportunities to learn technology, is it? You ask them to self-learn.
Correct.
And would children enjoy that?
I think some will enjoy and some will not because everyone has different mindset. But technology can also make it fun way too, according to different mindset for people.
Do you think children like a teacher teaching them, or do you think children like self-learning?
I think
Self-learning more.
self-learning.
Yeah.
Children hate teachers usually most of the time.
And while self-learning, they get to experiment by themselves.
Exactly.
And
This is
even
where
the learning stays embedded in them.
This is where MIT Scratch was very powerful. Many kids learned computational thinking with Scratch, and they become very good programmers. And what they learned is actually a way of thinking which will make them good in the AI age also. MIT built it's like almost like a game, GUI game, right? With that they can learn programming, Scratch. It's a great way for somebody who doesn't know coding to start coding with Scratch. It's a very old thing. Okay, next question from question box. Out of questions? Okay, role reversal. Now we will have the answer box in the question box. So here you have your 60 seconds now to make your pitch. Yeah, who's pitching?
Yes, we are going.
Your 60 seconds start now.
So to summarize our whole pitch, we are saying technology is more than tools. It's an enabler of creativity, problem solving. Teachers from every subject shape how students think and
Got
ask
it.
questions.
Can we go next here?
Moving forward. Um,
Shubhadeep, could you move the slide?
yeah, technology starts as just a tool like a calculator or a
Got this.
spreadsheet.
Let's move
But
forward. I think we got this piece, Daita. Let's move forward. Technology as an enabler. The examples are clear. Let's go next here.
yes, so coding is often taught like memorizing rules, right? But real innovation is when students use the same code to solve real problems. For example, one student might write a loop just to print numbers, and another might use it to simulate how a disease spreads in a city. So both are using the same code, but one is following rules while the other is creating the
Got you,
solutions.
Daita. Next. Yeah.
Over to Nihal.
So, learning through analogies. Analogies means comparing two things and understanding, learning something new. Analogies are super useful when tech ideas are tricky. Like think like this. Sometimes I use candy jar example to recall greedy algorithm. Means you pick the most biggest and the famous candy you want to get the most
Got you,
quickly. Right
Nihal.
now,
Next. Yeah. You're using comparisons to explain. Next.
technology has a superpower. Can you move forward, Subhadip? Now imagine AI, blockchain, IoT, augmented reality and virtual reality and data science like a team in a super world. Each team is strong, has its own, but together they can be amazing superb. Like for example, a healthcare system in which AI scans, IoT device track the patient,
Okay,
blockchain
got it,
keeps
Nihal.
the
You're saying that instead of showing it as tech, you show it as a superpower and you show the possibilities. Next. Yeah.
yes. Over to you, Mariada.
So technology brings freedom because it lets a person to be creative and it increases the ability to express ideas at scale. So think of film editing. In past, editors used to splice reel by hands, but now anyone with a laptop can remix the reel and publish it. So technology removes the barrier that previously limited human creativity and therefore bringing the freedom to create more, but with the same human effort. Next slide.
Yeah.
So in conclusion, if technology can help a lot with solving problems, fueling the innovation and imagination, but it depends on how we use it. So educators must integrate logic and ensure that it's relevant to people and it's bringing creativity out of students. And students must apply the technology to solve real sustainable problems to ensure that it enhances the human potential.
Got you, Maryada. Over to question box for questions.
Yes, I have a question. So how can we create the shift of using code as a rule to using it to solve problems?
Over to answer box.
By bringing in the mindset that you're solving a problem. Technology would just be a tool if you are not using it to solve something or to make it more relevant.
Got you, back to question box.
How can we implement the mindset? Like, what are the ways educators can implement it in students?
Yeah, back to answer box.
Yeah, I would like to answer that question. For explaining this, I would take some examples like why not going to the traditional way of teaching. Teachers or educators use the modern ways of teaching, like they could educate the students or any person by giving them examples instead of giving them only theories for the implementation.
Got you,
For an
Shubhadeep, back
example,
to question box. Got you, back to question box.
I have a follow-up question that can be coding be both like following rules and creating solutions at the same time? Because yes, because following the rules ensure the code is correct, the thing is going the correct way, and
Got the question, back to answer box.
to answer that also. That I think yes, we have to take both hand in hand so that we could create a better systems or better uh, productive things by using the
Okay, got your answer box,
uh,
back to question
block
box.
diagrams.
Got your answer box, back to question box. You ask, can it go hand in hand? And his answer is a yes. Do we have a follow-up to that?
How it can go hand to hand?
Yeah, back to answer box.
Yeah, so for going hand in hand, let me give you an example. So for an example, so all of us in our childhood, we have studied that when we have to measure the distance, we generally measure it for taking 2 points and measuring the shortest distance between them. We generally measure the distance like that. And it's called the Euclidean distance for measurement of distance. But in modern technologies like Google Maps, the distances between 2 points can't be measured by that because there are many obstacles and obstructions between in your path. So you have to go through them and move the distance. So for that, a simple method is used for a basic algorithm, which is called the Manhattan distance. Manhattan distance is nothing like,
No,
let
Shubhadeep,
us
can you please
assume this.
can you answer the question straight? How do you get that balance between following rules and being imaginative?
We can we can that's the only thing that we can implement the theories in practicality and go hand in hand with them so that we can discuss and we can make
Back to
some new
question box.
algorithms or something.
He's saying implement theory in practical situations and give real world problems like this Manhattan distance problem. Yeah. Okay, I have a follow-up question. While you're trying to encourage people to follow the rules, can that stifle the imagination because people are conditioned to follow rules? Because this is what we see in developers, especially Indian developers. They follow rules and their imagination is a little low, as opposed to people from a psychology or liberal arts background. We see engineers have lesser creativity or questioning in general because of the kind of teaching where they're asked to follow rules. So can that stifle imagination is my question.
No, I will not completely agree with that because because as we talk about the Indian engineers, we are basically given a framework to be work upon, and that frameworks and which we are the systems which we are making it has to be made in a certain way so that we follow a proper process. But I don't think that it would hamper the intelligence or visionary thinking of an engineer because while using the implementation of normal theories for a framework, we can also implement some new technologies, and we can implement the same theory in a new, better version, so
Shubhadeep,
that we can find that
you're
problem.
probably not getting the dilemma here. So the dilemma is many of the young kids, college kids who are very imaginative, they tend to crash the server when they're given a chance. And the senior engineer blasts them. Okay, Shubham is giggling right now. I'm sure he must have been scolded for 1 hour straight when he when he broke something in the code. Senior engineers literally thrash people when they don't follow the rules. Why? Because systems collapse. So how do you strike that balance? Because when you thrash people for not following rules, people also then are scared to imagine, create something new. How do you strike that balance then?
Yeah, so we can find a middle path for both of them. Like if so, let us take an example of a normal engineer coding in his personal computer, but he is not equipped with the technologies of servers, how to code in servers. So he would mostly have a difficulty in coding and deploying it in a server. So the engineers which are newly recruited, they can be teached with some time, so that they could adapt with
I
the
have a question
technology,
here.
and it could
Do we have to teach people to follow rules?
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so, we have to teach people to follow rules, because uh, we have a natural mindset of a human being that we like to experiment things with
But if they don't
ourselves,
if they don't follow
so
rules, the
that
tech
we
system
can
will collapse. No, you don't. The biggest
see.
problem with
We
people
have
with
to,
zero to
yeah.
the biggest problem with people with 0 to 1 years experiences, they don't follow good practices.
Yeah,
It
agree,
takes 1 year to mentor people to follow good
agree.
practices. So if you don't teach them to follow rules, they don't follow good practices. No. So now my question is, do you have to teach people to follow rules?
See, we can have a guided system where we can have some implementation, rather from our experience or from some new technologies. But we also have to follow rules, because ultimately rules are a proper structure or a
So you're saying
framework
you'll
for
teach
us.
people to follow rules. You're saying you'll teach people to follow
No,
rules.
nothing. No, not to completely follow rules, but we have to abide for some rules, because
So
if
you'll teach
if
people
we
to
have,
abide some rules. You'll teach people to abide some
yes,
rules.
yes,
So
yes.
my question for the
Like,
others in the answer box. My question is, do you have to teach people to abide by these rules?
I think yes, because if they don't follow, as you said, the system will collapse and that will
So do you
down.
have to teach them to follow rules so that they follow rules?
I think no.
Okay,
If
why not?
if they have the morals inside them, if you can implement it, they will automatically follow the rules. They will know the.
Morals? What kind of morals? We're talking of computers and systems, right? Yeah.
I didn't get your
Are you
question,
talking of their
Tanvi.
own judgment?
Right, yeah.
So how do you imbibe that judgment around these good practices?
Tarun, I think you can enlighten us with some examples, so that we can
Okay.
explain it better.
Yeah, Dahlia, please go.
Yeah, I was thinking, I think we should teach people to make judgments so that they can follow the rules, like like follow the good practices.
Okay. Now, see, typically when you train a blue collared worker, right, somebody who's not educated, you tend to order them. You tend to tell, do this, and you don't explain. Generally, may not be a good approach, but generally that's what people do. Now, Indian developers are also trained this way. Is this a good approach to just give instructions to people so that people follow? What can be a better way to get people to follow?
Explaining the reason why we are doing it. Like,
What can be even better way than explaining the reason?
I think the best way can be that give them a small setup where they can experiment with these things, so that if there some crashes some servers, it would not impact in a huge manner.
Exactly. Let them crash one server and learn. That would be the Ram Gopal Verma school, right? Break all the rules and then make people learn after breaking the rule. There's a classic saying that you first learn the rules like a master and you break them like an artist. You first learn the rules like a master and then you break them like an artist. You have to be an artist to break the rules. So Disha, I think back to you for your question. So now what people are saying is you don't really have to teach people to follow the rules. You can get people to see the need for a structure. Now, one question I have for the answer box is, does structure kill imagination and creativity?
No,
No, it
I
helps
think
us in
it shapes it. I think
Structure gives
structure,
makes it easier to be creative, right? The boundaries.
yes, it shapes it.
But would forced structure kill creativity?
Yes.
So what kind of structure do we
I
want?
think we want a casual structure which
A
can
structure
be
that people own up, right? That people see
yeah.
that, okay, I see that the structure is needed. People see the point
that
of
can be modified. That can be modified at times.
So would you want to teach these rules in a Socratic way? What will happen if I don't follow this and the student arrives at it? So and the Aita would Socratic way be different from explaining things to people. How is it different? In explaining, what are you doing?
Sorry.
When you're explaining, what are you doing?
So usually when someone is explaining, so in a Socratic way, the conversation is like two-way, right? So when we are explaining it, we are like some kind of we are restricting it.
Is
So
it just two-way, or is there something else? Who is doing the thinking when you're explaining? The one who's talking or the one who's listening?
The one who is listening.
The one who's
The
listening
one who
is
is talking.
the one
The
thinking.
one who is talking.
Right.
The one who is
And whose point of view is it? If you're explaining, whose point of view, the talker or the listener?
The
the
talker.
listener's point of
The
view.
talker
Yes,
is telling the
because
point
he
of view to
is
the listener.
like
And the listener is accepting,
okay.
right?
Right.
In a Socratic approach, whose point of view is it? The question box or the answer
listener.
box? The answer box, right?
Answer box.
Who's thinking? Answer box. Whose point of view?
Yeah. Answer box.
Who's getting the realization? Who's getting the eureka moment? When you explain, do you have a eureka moment?
Yeah.
Now, did you get a eureka moment?
Right.
Does it feel good?
Yes.
Now you get the power of a Socratic approach. The other person gets a eureka moment. You know the story of Eureka, Archimedes? You guys don't know? The king,
bathtub story.
the bathroom tub wala story, right? The king asked him to find a way to check if the gold is pure gold or not. The guy finds a solution because he would be killed if he can't find. And then he's in the bathroom and he suddenly gets excited and starts running all over Ethan saying, Eureka, Eureka, I found it. Not even knowing that he's not dressed. So Eureka in Greek is like, happiness that I found it. So that's why in education, in pedagogy, we call it Eureka moments. So we want learners to have. So that's why in deep thought, at least the times when I was training the developers, I would believe in a Socratic approach to train the developer. Not a rules. You must, you should. When some of the senior developers in deep thought say must, should, and all, I feel like someone took a rod and is piercing through me. I feel the pain. So Disha, if you have any follow-up question, we can take that.
Clear.
Okay. So you're saying technology has to be imaginative, and you're saying that with case studies and all. What their point was, you'll get people. So Subhadeep, what was the core of your idea?
The core of my idea is that we have to implement to get into an expertise means
You're saying
for
people
any
learn by
topic.
implementing.
Yes.
Give them a chance to play, give them a chance to, crash something and then learn as opposed to forcing them to do something. Fantastic. I think we'll break all the breakout rooms and have a reflection. Yeah, I think the host will have to, I'll reclaim host. Yeah, I'd love to take some reflections on the SD. Can we start off? Who wants to go in first?
Yes, so I can go first. So today we learned like how technology cannot be just mechanically imbibed in students, but it can also be creative. Just as through the Socratic questioning, we learned like how can we give a small space to explore, and then people can actually learn through like crashing the code. So that's a creativity which we can come up with. So that's my learning for today, and that was the Eureka moment for all of us, I think.
Okay. Thank you, Dalia. Who wants to go in next? And the folks who just joined in, it will be good if your videos are up. Yeah. Who wants to go in next?
Yeah, I think today's session was, interesting because we learned that technologies can be used in different ways, in creative ways to solve problems, or you know, in, to use technology to build new technology. Basically, that's how you can say. And also, you can also adapt with new technology by using a previous technology that can be alignment with it.
Okay. Anybody can go in with what is your reflection with the process you just went through.
I think schools and education system should give the pupils much more freedom to work with technology. So if even if they start, even if they fail, they will have that self-learning experience and they will grow more rather than follow a strict set of
Okay,
rules.
follow-up question. Forget schools. None of us are working with schools now. What would you do for yourself and what would you do in your team with respect to what you just spoke?
Explore more and use more tools. Even if we fail, that's okay because we can try to make it for short term and implement more ideas. Like HBT Lab is having testing out short ideas
So you're
frequently, which
saying
we
you learn new technologies by playing with
right,
technologies, right? That free play is very important.
right.
Okay. Who wants to go in next? Thank you, Nandini.
Can I?
Sure, Nihal.
So today I learned that technology is not a subject. It is a like it is not a subject. It is learning of future. Like we will learn it for a better future, and it will help us to implement in problem solving, creating new ideas and critical thinking. And main motive is to become an inventor, not a consumer. Actually, that's what I learned.
Fantastic. Not a consumer who's just like a technician, like a
Like
carpenter.
an innovator.
In deep thought, the people who just blindly write some code, we call them carpenters, plumbers. Right? They're just technicians, not people who are problem solvers, right? Who are able to apply technology to make a difference somewhere. So that holistic awareness is important. Fantastic. So Nihal says, the idea is to think like an inventor, right? I have this technology, I have these possibilities. What do I do so that I can achieve a use case with it? Yeah. Who's going next?
Can I go, Tarun?
Yeah, Vibhor, please go ahead.
Okay, so from the moderators and then that question box, answer box, all the perspective, I think that cutting the crap at the very beginning is my take and my reflection from that postwala thing, and then integrating the future technologies or the technologies that will be in demand in the near future should be integrated ASAP.
That cannot be done is what exactly I said. When I was in school, they taught HTML saying that it's the latest technology.
But I think establishing some cell in the institute or maybe an organization that is looking out for the emerging technologies, and the management should be responsible that we should
No,
integrate.
my question is which technology do you teach? Technology changes every 5 years.
So we should look up that which technologies are emerging. Like if you said that
Are you
augmented
look
reality.
up, yaar, Jyotish? You're not an astrologer, right? To tell what will happen after 5 years. Whatever you're predicting today may not come out. So what do you do? That
So
is not the solution to the problem.
be ready for the change.
Exactly. That is the solution for the problem. That is where MIT and Stanford are different. They're
Okay.
not different because they're teaching the latest technology.
Yeah. Okay. So be flexible with whatever you're working on and whatever
So
the
teach
future.
the fundamentals. Teach computational thinking. Don't teach programming.
Okay.
IIIT Hyderabad, right? IIIT Hyderabad, which is the best in the country for computer science.
Yeah.
They say, you know, their director and everybody makes an open statement. We teach computational thinking, not programming, to school children. I was
see.
one of the resource persons for IIIT Hyderabad summer camp for school children in 2018.
I see.
Right. At that point, I did a program for children on philosophy of science. As a part of the summer camp, they introduced philosophy of science and I delivered it. So they even paid me for it, IIIT guys. So it was not just a voluntary thing. So now in that, the director was very clear. We are teaching computational thinking. We're not teaching programming. Kids don't need programming is what they said.
Okay. So
the fundamentals won't change.
Okay. So I think then the top management needs to be visionary in all those cases. And because I think the top management maybe restricts, or maybe those people are not that visionary.
Okay.
And
Vibhor, I'll ask you a question.
Yeah.
How old is Socratic dialogue?
It is 200 years ago.
2000.
2000 years old. I'm sorry. Yep.
It is from BC.
Yeah.
How many
2000.
technologies changed since it came?
A lot, like many.
Is it relevant today?
No. It is relevant. It is relevant. It is relevant.
However, it is used only in top tier institutes.
I see.
Tier 3 colleges, darenge, they'll pee in their pants. Professors will pee in their pants for a Socratic dialogue, right? Because if
Like,
students ask questions in the class, you're dead.
Yeah, they think that this is maybe of no use to them, maybe.
No, they're scared. Man,
Okay.
I used to go inside schools and teach kids to question. The teachers would be in terror. Don't call this man again.
Okay.
Because kids, right? The moment somebody comes and says you have to ask questions, the kids are just waiting for that one license.
I see. Yeah. That fear of being questioned by the kids while being in the senior position.
Exactly. When kids used to ask me questions where I didn't know answers, I would say, I don't know.
Okay.
I would say, I don't know.
Yeah.
And kids would not look down upon you if you say, I don't know. Kids are like, okay, fine. He doesn't know.
That is
For
that
them,
is
it is satisfaction. Ki, bhai, I asked the question. This will have
that
heard
is
my
a-
question.
that is the thing.
I'll tell you, when I used to conduct Socratic dialogues, I used to give kids questions. Whoever gave the most interesting question, I would give a chocolate.
Yeah. Okay.
One day, the SD में there was not enough time.
Okay.
The kid was like, sir, I don't need any chocolate, but please let me ask my question.
Another question.
Uske liye he was like, I don't need the chocolate. I just want to ask a question. It is inside my stomach and it is not sitting inside. I have to ask. So as kids, right? As kids, we all had this questioning ability.
But
But
we are
with societal
pressurized to.
conditioning,
We are forced to make it.
you know what is the main difference between kids and adults?
We are pressurized to not make let our thoughts out of us.
No, we have worry. We worry. Kids don't worry. That's the only difference.
Yeah. Okay.
Kids have chintan, we have chinta.
I see the difference.
Kids think, we worry, as simple as that. And the reason why we conduct this Socratic dialogue every Saturday is because we want everybody to become a kid in thought, not in terms of responsibility.
I see.
The thoughts.
I see.
An adult in terms of responsibility, but a kid in terms of thinking. Because kids are very logical. They go with the first principles. They don't go with jargon.
Okay.
It's not about throwing fancy words. It's about understanding what they mean. I'll give one example. In one SD, I told the kids that distribution is very important. We have enough food during COVID time. We have enough food, but the food is not reaching people because distribution is broken, blah, blah, blah. One kid said, so sir, what you're telling me is there's no problem with the supply. The problem is with the taps.
Taps?
You didn't get his analogy.
No.
He was saying, so you're telling me that there's no problem with the water supply. The problem is the taps are broken.
Okay. Yeah, got
who
it,
is
got it, got it, got it, got
whoever
it.
whoever distributing the food, so it's the problem with that.
Exactly. The whoever is distributing food is like the pipes, the distribution. Product and distribution, they took an analogy, right? The water tank is product, the
Got it,
distribution
got
is
it,
the
got it.
pipes.
Got it, got it, got it.
So now you understand why I say kids think from the fundamentals.
Yeah,
They don't use fancy language, they make comparisons and they understand logic, they catch logic.
able
So
to
if you
see.
really want to grow in your life, find some really smart kids and keep talking to them. For a long
Okay.
time, I loved working with kids, not because I felt I was doing some social service or something, but I really enjoyed that. The people I really like working with are kids. The way I was telling, no, got you. With kids, I don't have to do that. They are short. They're very sharp.
Okay.
So when I do a Socratic dialogue with kids, it's a lot more intense compared to a Socratic dialogue with adults.
Okay.
So when we have to adapt to technologies, right? The thing is, these thinking models, right? These will not change. Technologies will change. The thinking models will not change. Emotional intelligence will not change. In fact, with AI, these things, things like Socratic dialogue become even more important. Because all the donkey work will be done by AI.
Yeah.
But the thinking work will not be done by AI. There's one thing AI can't do, that human judgment, that risk taking. You're taking that judgment, right? Here I will do this. That AI can't do. That needs thinking, that needs emotional intelligence. So I hope we can imbibe all of this, and I hope before we conclude, we all agree to use the Socratic approach. Shall we?
Yes, Tarun, absolutely.
Why?
Because
do you see me using the
it brings
Socratic
out,
approach?
it brings out the core.
Do you see me use the Socratic approach now?
Yeah.
Am I telling you?
No, we are discussing things. Like we are
Is it
taking
just a
perspective.
discussion?
We are bringing out the perspectives.
I have something in my mind, but whatever I have in my mind, am I telling you?
No,
Not
you're
directly.
questioning actually.
Not directly.
No, any questioning is not Socratic questioning.
Yeah, making him think whatever is in him.
Making people think is not Socratic questioning. I have an idea. I could have told the idea. Instead, what am I doing?
Building on the answers
Questioning.
You're making a process which is making me think of that idea.
And arrive at that idea.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So now when you're a team leader and you're leading your team, would you want to tell them what to do?
No, I'll rather focus on the process by which the other people will think of that topic by themselves and arrive on the
Exactly.
same conclusion.
Then would they own it?
Yeah.
Would it be their own idea?
Yes. Now it becomes their own.
If it's their own idea, would they execute better?
Yep.
Do you realize right from your day one of orientation with deep thought, is this my method of talking to you? Did I tell you things?
No.
The observers can say, you did my orientation yesterday. No, did I tell you things? For last 14 years, this is my method. I don't tell. Because I take the lesson of Socrates. He said, I can't teach anyone anything. I can only make them think. So shall we be Socratic leaders?
Yes.
What is the advantage if you are a Socratic leader? Anyone? Need not be Vibor. Anyone can answer. What is the advantage if you are a Socratic leader?
We can make other people think of our vision with their own eyes.
Or even a better vision than our vision. People can come challenge us and improve it. Right. Anyone else? What is the advantage if we are Socratic leaders?
Also, it helps us to become a problem solver.
Okay. We
other
expand.
people
Yeah.
will work on their own instead of giving us giving them motivation. They'll be
People will take ownership.
motivated.
Burden is reduced because people take ownership then. And do you think the Socratic approach only works with the educated ones?
No.
No.
with many blue collar folks, I've used the Socratic approach and they listen to me more. In fact, one particular ex-client of Deep Thought, after 1.5 years, I went there. Everybody was greeting me, ki, how are you? You know, you're not here and all of that. Because they felt very touched when they were spoken in this way, right? Where I didn't tell them, management wants you to do this, do it. I questioned them and I said, wouldn't it be nice if our college had this? Wouldn't it be nice if this was done? So people felt like they were treated as an equal. So even with blue collared workers, this method can work. When we can make people think, when we can make people see it. And for us as well, it gives us a lot of depth when we use a Socratic method. Because it's very easy to tell, right? But what is tough? You'll ask a question, what will that fellow do? Will they arrive at your process? They'll go somewhere else. Then what will you feel like doing? No, Shubham, not that, this. Then did you use Socratic approach? No, right? You tried using Socratic approach and again went and told a answer.
Hint.
But what if you truly practice a Socratic method? What do we do? That person will deviate. Then what do we do?
Question again.
In what way?
Not in the way that what he is
Align.
going to go on.
To bring that person,
Clear the fluff by questioning him.
get the person back.
Yeah.
By drawing boundaries, tell why that would not work. For example, see, Vibor was saying, I'll get latest technology. What did I say? How would you know what is the latest technology? He's saying, I'll put someone to find out what is the latest technology. I said, but nobody can find out. Human history tells it. Then he himself said, we'll focus on the thing that will not change. So instead of telling what, we start countering and give hints to draw that person in. It takes practice. It's not easy. But what happens once we are very good at this? Every time when you question to draw boundaries and bring people back to the point, right? Your conceptual depth improves as more. It takes a lot of conceptual clarity to counter a person and bring them back. This is exactly why we don't have Socratic teaching in our schools and colleges. Very, very few people are good at Socratic moderation. And if you can be, you'll be a big person one day. And to all of you, I told the name of the person who was taught in Socratic approach, right? Who's that person?
Alexander.
And you know, Alexander during wars at night, he would read a book. Can you imagine that? In between a war, reading a book. That was a habit Aristotle taught him. So this is a very powerful method. And I'm glad we did, because for a long time we stopped the meta SDs and we started meta SDs, I think only last 2-3 weeks back. And I hope all of you take this very seriously. And how many of you here did not make a single SD pitch? Or how many of you never went into a live SD till date?
Me.
Oh, you never went? Too sad. 8 months? Okay. Anybody else who... It's okay. You can raise your hand. Who all didn't go for a live SD till now? Now, do you see a reason to get into a live SD? What is the reason?
To practice Socratic dialogue.
Sorry?
To practice Socratic dialogue.
The hot seat is very different. When you're in the hot seat, right? You're live on YouTube. So many people are watching you. In breakout rooms, people are watching you. In that heat of the moment, you have to spontaneously answer, right? Or spontaneously question. That experience is different once you sit there. Anybody here who was in the live SD today, can you tell what that hot seat means? What does that word hot seat mean to you? You were in the live SD today, right? What does that word hot seat mean to you?
Presenting live in front of people.
Okay, that stage fear a lot of people lose in DT. But what does a hot seat mean?
As you told, like you need to be too much spontaneous while asking question and giving answers.
Why spontaneous?
There should
Uh,
be no pause, like we should be quick to answer
Why?
so that it may go in flow.
Okay. Otherwise, the moderator will cut
Helps
you
us.
off. Yeah, Dalia.
That helps us brainstorm more, like think quickly.
Has been
Exactly.
very alert.
It gets that quick thinking, right? And quick thinking is needed for growth, right? To ideate more. So I hope you all will actively participate in SDs. And the good news is by September 2nd week, we're going to do 2 SDs every week. One in the morning slot and one in the afternoon slot. So more people will get a chance to get into the live SD. And monthly once we'll have one SD where we'll have external industry experts as jurors. The people who participate well in the monthly SDs will get selected for the live SD, like a championship. Right? So we'll also have a Premier League, Socratic Premier League.
It will be more interesting.
Yeah. Cool. So that's it, folks. Have a great weekend. Thanks a lot for enthusiastically participating in the Meta SD. Good night, folks.
Good night. Good night, everyone.
Night.